Shalom, Israel, Shalom. This Azariah from Watchmen from Israel, giving all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem HaMashiach Yahushua. Today's topic, I want to touch over the different types of works that we are commanded to do in order to receive salvation. You know, and of course, these different type of works is basically going back and keeping the law, statute, commandments, and loving the Most High, and of course your neighbor as yourself. So let's start off with James chapter 2, verse 26. And it reads, "For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also." So you must have works, because if you just having faith alone, it's not going to profit you, right? So let's see what we must do to get the Most High, to get the kingdom of heaven, because we can't just rely on faith alone, right? So let's see what Yahweh Shah said. It's the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 20, and it reads, "And when he was demanded of the Pharisees when the kingdom of Yahweh shall come, he answered them and said, The kingdom of Yahweh come not without observation, neither shall they say, Lo here, or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of Yahweh is within you." So the kingdom is within you, right? It's not, you can't just get the kingdom just by sitting on your butt all day and just listening to YouTube videos all day, scoffing, you know. You must go out there and do the works. We are commanded, because the Most High, he not about just, you just sitting back and just listening. He's about action, right? He's about, he want to see you get up off your butt and just do something. Put in some type of works. Teach your brothers who they are, right? Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 2. 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 3. It said, Talk no more so exceeding proudly, let not arrogancy come out of your mouth, for the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him ask no weight." Right? So by him ask no weight. It's not just going out there just not doing nothing. It's about your actions at which count. Right? Let's go to Romans chapter 2 and verse 13. And it reads, "For not the hearers of the law are just before Yahweh, but the doers of the law shall be justified." So you should be justified by your works, by what you do, right? The things that you put in, you're going to receive back, right? So you can't just go out there and just not do the works and just sitting on your butt and watching YouTube videos all days and think that you're going to get the kingdom of heaven just by doing that. All right? If I go to James chapter 1, it's like it. James chapter 1 and verse 22. And it reads, "Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own self. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass." Picture that. Smothering yourself, right? So as the Most High said, got to be a doer of the word, not just hearer only, right? Because you're just deceiving yourself, thinking that you're going to get the kingdom of heaven, and you're not doing the works, right? Let's go to Luke chapter 6. Let's see what Yahushua said, all right? How important it is to do the works. Luke chapter 6, verse 47. And it reads, "Whosoever come whosoever come to me and hear my sayings and do them," right? It's action right there, "and do them, I will show you unto whom he is like. He is like a man built a house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock." Right? So you build up your spirit. That house is your spirit, your temple, right? And you dig deep and you put that foundation on that rock. That rock is that cornerstone. Is the most it's Yahweh Shai. Right? You build up your house on this, and you build up your house, your spirit, and your faith, all on Yahweh Shai. He's that rock. It said, and when the flood arose, the steam beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded on a rock, right? So if you're building your faith up in that, and you doing the works of the Most High through Yahweh Shai, you building up your spirit, that temple, and nothing can break that temple down. No demonic, no spirit, unclean spirits, or any type of thing can come and defile that temple. Right? Verse 49, but he that heareth and doeth not. So you out there just hearing the word, sitting on your butt all day, not putting in no action, right? It said it's like a man that without a foundation build a house upon the earth, against which the steam did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. So you just go out there, ain't putting in no work, just listening, knowing that you Israel, right? But you ain't keeping the statute and commandments. You ain't going out there laboring. You just your house that you build in your temple. It can easily be break into, right? A spiritual demon, Satan, and all his spiritual angels going there just beating on the house, right, with hammers, knocking it down, right? But if you build that house up, with the faith of Mashiach, putting the foundation on it, nothing can come against it. All right? Let's go to Exodus chapter 18 and verse 20. Let's see what type of works that we must do. And it's like 18 and verse 20. All right, so this is different type of works that we must do. And of course, it's keeping the law, statutes, commandments. All right, so it said this, and thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shall shew them the way wherein that they must walk, and the works that they must do. Right? So the Most High gave Moses laws, statutes, commandments to command Israel to keep. Right? And that's the doing. When he gave you commandment, that's something to do, not just something that you just listen to. Right? That's see that we keep doing works. Let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 7. 2nd Esdras chapter 7 and verse 24. And said, but his law have they despised, and deny his covenants, and his statutes had they not been faithful, and have not performed his works. Right? So we haven't kept the works. We didn't keep the commandments since the day that Moses gave us to us. Right? It was always going off. Even if it had got to do with women, worshiping other idols, whatever. Breaking the Sabbath. We didn't keep them works, of course. Right? We didn't keep the law, statutes, commandments. So, we're supposed to keep them and maintain it, right? Maintain the good works. Let's go to Titus chapter 3, verse 8. And it reads, this is a faithful saying, and these things I will that thou affirm constantly, that they which have believed in Yahweh might be careful to maintain good works. These things are good and profitable unto men. So you must maintain the good works, right? The good works is the commandments, the laws, the faith in the Mashiach. You must maintain it, right? Maintain the works that you've been given. So the Most High commanded us to keep the commandments and love Him, and love your neighbor as yourself. That what you must do. That's the thing that we commanded to do, right? Like Colossians chapter 3. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 23. And read, and whatsoever he do it, and whatsoever he do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men, knowing that the Lord he shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for he served the Lord Christ. Right? So it said, whatever you should do it unto the Most High, because we serve the Most High, Christ, and we shall receive the reward, the inheritance. That's the what? The kingdom, right? All the other nations, everything you see, we should have dominion over it, right? So that's the reward, just walking in them gates, right? Verse 25, it said, but he that doeth wrong shall receive the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of person, right? So we must maintain the good works and do everything according to the Most High, right? And we shall receive a reward. Let's see what that reward is. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 14. And it reads, "Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city." Right? So blessed are they that do his commandments, that do his commandments, right? So it's about action. It's about doing something. It's not about sitting on your butt all day watching videos, right? Knowing you Israel, but you're not out there doing nothing about it, right? And it's not just keeping the commandments of the Most High alone. It's also, having the faith of the Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. All right, let's go to Revelation chapter 14, verse 12. And it reads, "Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh in the faith of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai." Right? So you must keep both. You must have you must keep the commandments, that's the words, the faith of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Right? So you must do them things. The order to receive salvation, you must maintain the good works. All right? So let's go to Matthew chapter 25. And let's start at 14. It said, "For the kingdom of heaven is like as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servant and delivered unto them his goods." And goods is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? The deep sayings, the parables, the precepts, those are the good that the Most High gave us, right? Verse 15, unto one he gave 5 talents, right? To another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway he took his journey. So he gave one 5 talents. He gave one 5 talents, saying, he gave him a deep breakdown, parables, the milk, wine, the deep sayings, all the things that you must know. He gave this man 5 talents, like, brother, I know you can handle this. You go out there and teach our people, right? Other he gave 2, probably just to give them, some milk, some parables, how to break down John 3:16, just basically some type of understanding, right? And he gave another one, probably just 1. He's like, here, bro, you just got the milk. Do what you can do with it, and bring back more, right? Verse 16. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. Right? So this brother, he brought back double. And likewise, he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. Right? So this brother went back and got double of what he was received. Right? Let's see what happened to the one that got 1 talent, that just received the milk. It says, but he that had received 1 went and dig in the earth and hid his Lord money, right? And after a long time, the Lord of those servants come and reckon with them. So he said, Yahweh Shah come. He's that Lord. He's like, all right, what you did with my wisdom and knowledge? What you did with it? Did you, got back and brought back more? Woke your people up, or what you did with it? Did you just hit it? Right? He said, let me see what you did with my talent I gave you. And his Lord said unto them, it's like verse 20. It said, and so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained besides them 5 talents more. And his Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. Verse 22. So enter thou into the joy of the Lord. You got the kingdom. Now you got, these heathens as your inheritance. You can sit young with Hamashiach Yahweh Shai in the kingdom. You can rejoice and be glad therein. Right? Verse 22. And he also that hath received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents besides them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. So enter to the joy of the Lord. Enter the kingdom. Receive everything that you put out. Your treasure is in the kingdom, waiting for you to get. Right? 24. Then he which had received the one talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawn. And I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth, and lo, there thou hast that is thine. So this other servant that the Most High gave one to, he just kept that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and kept it to himself, right? Didn't want to go out there and teach and labor, right? So let's see what the Lord said. Verse 26. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sow not, and gather where I have not straw. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to that changer, and then at my coming I shall have received my own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him and give it unto him which have 10 talent. So take everything you got. Now you got no knowledge and understanding. Now you back in the world, serving the spiritual demon Satan, doing things that Esau put out. You back to celebrating Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, going to church on a Sunday, worshiping a white Jesus, Allah, Buddha, whatever the white man pushes, that doctrine, you back into the world doing. All right. I think I was at verse 30. It said, And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right, so it said to cast you the unprofitable servant. Oh, it's like a verse. I skipped 29. Verse 29 said, For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance, but from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. So, look, he's going to take it away if you ain't going to do nothing with it. And cast ye the unprofitable servant, you unprofitable, right? You worthless. You're not doing no type of work. You just having all that knowledge and understanding. You keep it to yourself. You're not going there teaching people. You're not waking Israel up, right? You're unprofitable. It said, And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right, so it'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Man, you're not going to get the kingdom of heaven. You're going to be sitting out there with the dogs and the heathens and the whoremongers and fornicators. All right, let's go to Matthew chapter 9 and verse 37. All right, it says this. Then said he unto his disciple, The harvest is plenteous. The harvest truly is plenteous, but the labors are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers unto his servant. Right? So we are laborers of the Most High. We got to pray for more laborers, right? And being a laborer, is not just sitting on your butt all day, not doing nothing, right? It's out there, it's going out there and doing the work, putting your body on the line for the Most High, and you have a shot. Right, because right now you said, hey, I go to work doing 9 to 5. You basically laboring for the white man, but you don't want to put in your work for the Most High, and you have a shot. All right, let's go to where I want to go to. I go to Matthew chapter 22. Matthew chapter 22 and verse 9. It's what we commanded to do. It said, Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. Right? It said, as many you shall find, bid to the marriage. All the Israelites that you see walking to and fro, back and forth, not doing nothing, don't know who they are. It said, bid them to the marriage. Tell them, wake them up like, brother, the kingdom is happening for you. Right? Come ye into the straight gate of the kingdom. Wake up, your Israelite, keep the commandments and faith of Mashiach Yahushua. Right? We commanded to go out there to the highways and byways and beg them to the marriage that the house of the Most High may be filled. All right, let's go to 1 Corinthians. So that's a commandment that Yahweh Shai gave us that we must do. And that's not just sitting on your butt all day. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6. It said, I have planted, Apollos water, but Yahweh gave the increase. Right? So if you out there just teaching, our people, they Israel, like brother, he's passing out flyers, and just anything you do, you're doing it for the Most High, and you telling people, hey brother, you're an Israelite. You're an Israelite. You're an Israelite. Even if they just take that and just walk away with it, or take that flyer that you passing out, just walk away with that. You are planted that seed, and then they might 3 months and weeks down the line, or the next day, was well, and they might run into another brother, and tell them. They might tell them saying, "Hey brother, you're an Israelite. You gotta repent," and he might say, I heard that before. I heard that I'm an Israelite. Another brother was telling me that. So what's an Israelite? What's this? What is that? And you go out there and teach him. Now that brother is getting more increase, right? Is building himself up in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. All right. Verse 8. Not with that, verse 7, sorry. It says, so then neither is he that planted anything, neither he that watered, but Yahweh give the increase. Right? Now he that planted and he that watered it are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. Right? So you're going to receive your own reward according to your own labor. Verse 9, for we are laborers together with Yahweh, right? And he are Yahweh's husbandry, he are God's building. So we building up that wall, that spiritual wall, right? And we waking our people up, and we doing this with Yahweh. Right? And we doing this with the spirit of Yahweh in us. It's like we doing this, with the spirit of Yahweh Shai, and we building our people up, right? And we building our people up. We building that spiritual wall, that temple. We getting back that kingdom, right? So we are labors with Yahweh, and it's our job to wake Israel up and bring back our kingdom. All right. Let's see the prime example of Israel going out teaching. This 2 Corinthians chapter 17, verse 9. And it says this, and they taught in Judah and had the book of the law of the Lord with them, and went about and went throughout all the city of Judah and taught the people. So that's what we doing. We going throughout all the city, of America, wherever our Israel is at, and we teaching our people, right? We teaching the people the law, statutes, commandments, and the faith of Mashiach Yahweh Shai, right? So that's a good example of Israel going out and doing the works, not just sitting back watching YouTube videos all day, commenting on the comment board, and just doing nothing, right? So we are commanded to do the works, teaching our people, right? So that's one of the works, going out and teach. Let's see some other works that we must do. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 2. And it says, and though I have the gift of prophecy and understanding all mystery and all the knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountain and have not charity, I am nothing. So even though I had all these type of breakdowns and prophecies, but have not charity, I am nothing. So, you must have charity also. Charity is going out there to helping your neighbors that's, that might not have, all the things that he might need to get by in life. All right. So it said, verse 3, it said, and though I bestow all my goods to the poor, all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profit me nothing. Right. So you must have charity. Right. You must go out there and help your brothers out that's in need. All right. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 8. 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 8. And it said, and above all these, and above all things are fervent charity. And above all things have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. right? So charity, having charity and going to helping your brothers out, you know, that is good to, cover the multitude of sins. So you must have charity. You must go out there and help your brother. All right, let's go to James chapter 2. Let's get some example of charity. Book of James chapter 2 and verse 14, and it reads, "For it said, what do it profit, my brethren, though a man say he have faith and have not works?" It's like it. For a man say he have faith and have not works, can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be he warm and filled, notwithstanding to give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doth it profit? Even so, faith, if it have not works, is dead being alone. So you must go out there and help your brother. If a brother ain't got that much clothing, he need help. He can't eat. He ain't eat all day. He hungry. He ain't got no money. Feed that brother. If you got food in the house and you can make that brother a sandwich, go out there and make that brother the sandwich. Go out there and help your brother out that's don't have the needs to get by. All right, that's an example of faith. Let's go to Luke. Luke chapter 10. And Luke chapter 10. Luke chapter 10, I start at 25. It says, and behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? And he said unto him, what is written in the law thou readest thou? It said, how readest thou? So, man, like, look, what shall I do to have eternal life? He said, what is written in the law? How readest thou? And he answered and said, that shall love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. And he said unto him, thou hast answered right. Do this, and thou shalt live. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Yahushua, and who is my neighbor? Right? So who is my neighbor? Should I go out there and love my neighbor as myself? Let's see who my neighbor is. And Yahushua answered and said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. So this priest didn't want to help him out. He saw this brother, half dead, stripped of clothes, hunger, didn't want to, and he didn't want to help him out. It said, and likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed by on the other side. This man did the same thing. But a certain Samaritan, and as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring the oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn and took care of him. So he brought him to an inn. An inn is like a house, what we call like a nice inn, like a motel inn, right? Like a room. So brought him to an inn and took care of him. And on the morrow, when he departed, and took out 2 pence and gave them to the host, and said unto him, take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, and when I come again, I will repay thee. Right? So when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said, he that showed mercy on him. Then said Yahushua unto him, go and be thou likewise. So the Most High said, look, go be like thou likewise. When you see your brother, out there and he lacking food, raiment, go out there and, help your brother out, right? That's charity, right? And charity cover multitude of sins, and without charity, that can really put you in a bad situation when it comes down to being judged from the Most High while you have a shot. All right, let's see that. Matthew chapter 25, verse 34. And it reads, then, verse 34, it says, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come, he blessed of my father, and heard the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was in hunger, and he gave me meat. I was thirsty, and he gave me drink. I was a stranger, and he took me in. Naked, and he clothed me. I was sick, and he visited me. I was in prison, and he came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee in hunger and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? So they said, look, I know I was with you like 3 or 4 years, and I never saw you hunger, I never saw you thirsty, right? So let's see what Yahushua said. And when, what was that? It's like it said, verse 38. And saw we, it said, when saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked, or clothed thee? Like, when did we do all these things? Verse 39. Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto him, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as he have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, he had done it unto me. So it said, if you helping your brother out, that don't have that much clothes, or he was hungry and thirsty, you're not doing it for him. You doing it to me too. Right? Verse 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, depart from me, he cursed into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was in hunger, and he gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and he gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and he took me not in. Naked, and he clothed me not. Sick, and in prison, and he visited me not. Then shall they answer, and thus shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee a hunger, or a thirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as he did it not to one of the least of these, he did it not unto me. It's like he did it not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. So that's a righteous act, to go out there and help your brother out that's like getting raiment, food, thirst, go out there and just help your brother out, because our people living in this captivity don't have much. We don't have that much stuff that that stuff that they need to get by in life, right? Because this not our kingdom, this Esau kingdom, right? So going out there, if you got some water, it's like if you got some water, go out there and help a brother out that might be down of thirst. You got some food, go out there and help a brother out, that could be lacking of food, that's hungry, right? Because it's hard out here for our people, right? So, just having charity with a bunch of people is good. So let's get to another one. This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 1. And it said, take heed that he do not, take heed that he do not your alms before men, to be seen of them. Otherwise, he have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. So this is giving alms, right? It said, therefore, when thou doest thou alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do it in the synagogue and in the street, that they may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. Right? So that reward is basically being seen of men. So people might think they righteous, they doing all type of righteous acts. That's their reward. Their reward is just glory, self vain glory. But verse 3, but when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth, that thy arm may be in secret, and thy Father which see in secret himself shall reward thee openly. Right? So when you're doing alms and you helping a brother out, person that might be, say, he can't pay rent, and he might kicked out of his house. He might, lead up like, brother, I got you. I got enough money. I can get by. Let me just help you out, give you a couple $100, whatever you can, and just help the brother out, because not every brother can make it, in his life, So help a brother out and give alms, or help a sister out, that might be in need, that might be a single mother and, got like a whole bunch of mouths to feed, and you got some extra money, like, be a father to the fatherless, right? So that's giving alms. Let's see, giving alms is also good to the Most High. Let's go to Sirach chapter 7, verse 10. Sirach chapter 7, verse 10, it said, be not faint-hearted when thou makest thy prayer, and neglect not to give alms. So neglect not to give alms. So don't just, go out there and like, oh man, I see a brother that, just saying, brother, please can you help me, spare me a little change, whatever. You sitting there like, nah, brother, nah, I ain't got it. You got a dollar in your pocket. You be like, nah, man, I ain't got it. You just neglecting to give alms to help your brother out. But also, be, when but I'm gonna get it. Just make sure when you do it good, know who you do it good to. So, a brother might, need some money. He's like, look, brother, I got you, brother. Don't worry about it. We can. I'm about to get paid next week, or I might get paid this Friday. And I got you, brother. I can bear. Sirach chapter 3. Sirach chapter 3, verse 30. I should just went over 3 and verse 30, and it reads, water will quench a flaming fire, and alms make an atonement for sins. So your alms, also covered up multiple sins and make atonement for sins. So giving alms is also a good thing to do. All right, so giving alms is making atonement for sins. So alms is good for the Most High when it's covering a multitude of sins. Right? Let's go to Sirach chapter 12. Sirach chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, when thou wilt go, slacking, when thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest. Slacking, start over. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it. So shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. So he said, when you do good, know who you're doing good with, because a brother, he might just take your money and run and never see you again, and coming back and, it's just like, hey, brother, I know you helped me out last time, and, he must, he got a lot of money, but he don't want to help you out now. Like, oh yeah, you slacking, hi, brother, I remember you helped me out, but good luck with that, So know when know who you're doing good with. Verse 2, it said, do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense, and if not from him, yet from the Most High. So like, so do good to a godly man, a man that keeps the commandments. And even if that man that can't help, that you help can't really, help you back out, just knowing that, look, don't be trying to ask that brother, like, brother, you remember that time I gave you that $50, brother, you need to help me back out. And you be like, oh man, like, brother, I know, you did good, but I'm still struggling, I'm still trying to pay bills, but I got you, brother, next time, right? But he said, look, don't, always give to receive, because your treasure is in the heaven. So it's like, so he said, don't be trying to give out, just receive back, because your recompense is from the Most High, right? Verse 3, and there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that gives no alms. So there's no good, that can come to you if you don't, go out there and help your brother out, right? So there's no good that can come to you also, right? Um, let's see. Let's go to Tobit. Tobit chapter 4, verse 7. It said, "Give alms of thy sustenance, but when thou givest alms, let not thy eye be envious." So when you helping a brother out that's in need, or helping a sister out that's in need, don't be envious like, oh man, I gotta go help this brother out, man. Shoot, man, like, don't be envious. It said, neither turn thy face from any poor, and the face of Yahweh shall not be turned away from thee. So don't just turn your face like, oh man, look, act like you didn't see it. Like, like, oh bro, that brother need help, bro. Look, I'm just gonna keep it moving, keep it walking, act like I ain't see it, just keep walking past that poor man. Right? It said, and if thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. So if you got enough money in your pocket, just if you got it, give it out. Don't be stingy. All right, it said, give it accordingly. If thou hast but a little, be not afraid to give according to that little. So if you got just got $5 in your pocket, the brother, he's struggling to eat, whatever. Like, bro, like, hey, you gonna give him the whole five, or you just give it just a little, give like $2.50, or give him $1 or $2. Verse 9, it said, "For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity and necessity." So in verse 10, because that arm do deliver from death, and suffer not to come into darkness. For alms is good, it's like it. For alms is a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High. Right. So look, alms covered multitude of sins. Church like your charity cover multitude of sins. Alms make atonement for sins. All right. So it's that can deliver you from being put to death. All right. But you got to be careful, what you give. So if you got this a little, just give what you can. All right. But don't give too much, and then or something you broke. The next day you were like, oh man, I gave all that I got. Now I can't even eat tonight. I can't even make it back home tonight. All right. Oh shoot. Go to Sirach chapter 29 and verse 20. Uh, 29:20. It says, help thy neighbor according to thy power, and beware that thou thyself fall not into the same. So it said, help your neighbor according to your power, and don't just knock yourself out and trying to, help your neighbor. And you ain't got that much money to pay rent yourself, but you help your neighbor out. Like, hey, brother, look, I know I'm about to get, I know my rent due. I'm just gonna get all my money to you, whatever, and just like that's then your landlord calling you like, brother, where's the rent? You're like, oh man, I done gave my money to the poor, man. Is can I pay you back next month, whatever? And he like, no, I ain't trying to hear that. So you got to give what you can give. You got to give what you can give, and don't just make yourself fall to the same trouble that this man having. All right. So, just got to just help your brother out. I want to jump to 21. This one, it's a good one. 21 verse 1. It said, he that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor, and he that strengthen his hand keep the commandments. So you merciful, you was lend to your neighbor that's in need. That's part of keeping the commandments. All right, it said, verse 2, it said, lend to thy neighbor in time of his need, and pay thou thy neighbor again in due season. Right? So lend to your neighbor, when he in need. It said, and keep my word and deal faithfully with him, and thou shalt always find the thing that is necessary for thee. All right. Verse 4, I'm gonna read this. It said, many Many, when a thing was lent to them, reckoned to be found, and put them in trouble that helped thee. Right? It said, till he have received, he will kiss. Now, this is like a person, so basically it's a Rock chapter 12. There's a good preset to that. So know who you do is good to. So when you get to a person, I may come to you like, look, brother, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that, bro. And he gonna be up on you, ask like, brother, yeah, brother, he was like, man, you a good man, brother, trying to build you up, like, yeah, brother, you a good brother, man. I know you got this money, you can help me, brother. He was keep on, just trying to give you compliments and trying to do what he can do, whatever, for you to help him out, for you to help him out. All right, I'm gonna read that for again. Sirach chapter 22, verse 9. It said, till he have received, he will kiss a man's hand, right? And for his neighbor, money, he will speak submissively. But when he shall repay, he will prolong the time and return words of grief and complain of the time. So like look, when you ask that money, when you ask that man back for a favor, like, brother, you remember I did that favor for you, now I'm struggling, like, brother, can you help me out? And he was like, look, brother, I told you I was going to pay you the money, but he might got it. He like, brother, I ain't got it right now. He gonna try to prolong the time. I'm gonna pay you back next month. I'm gonna pay you back, a few months from now on. I ain't got it, And the more and it'll make his word turn grief. Like, man, look, why you always asking me for that $25 back, man? Man, you always asking for $20 back, man. I give you that $20. You gave me $20, and then you always asking it back, man. Shoot, man. Brothers just, you know how Israel is, man. When it comes to time to pay people back, no, it would be $20. You just, Israel would be complaining like, brother, you want the $20 back for real, Verse 6, it said, if he prevail, he shall hardly receive the half, and he will count it as if he had found it. If not, he have deprived from him. So he had deprived him of his money. And he have gotten him an enemy without cause. He pay him with cursing and railing, and for honor he will pay him disgrace. So now he's cursing you out because you asking for that $20 back. Like, Israel, very famous for doing that, brother. When it comes to time to pay brothers back, it becomes grief on us. Like, brother, you really want that money back? Verse 7, it said, many therefore have refused to lend for others men, ill-dealing, fearing to be defrauded. So that makes somebody now you want to give you money no more. So, just when you go to help a brother out, just know who you're doing good to. Because sometimes the brothers, it comes grievous to pay their brothers back. All right, I just want to bring that one out. All right, let's go to Slakia. Go to Acts chapter 10. Let's see some good things, the Most High. So Slakia. I don't know. All right, I don't know what's going on. All right, Acts chapter 10 and verse 1. There's some, if you give it alms, the Most High, he receives that alms that you do. The Most High, he sees everything. So when you give it alms, the Most High, he accepts your alms. It says, Acts chapter 10, verse 1, it said, there was a certain man in, it's like, refuse my spelling, it said, certain man in Sarius called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the entire band. It said, a devout man, and one that feared Yahweh with all his house, and gave much alms. So Cornelius and all his house gave much alms to the people and prayed to Yahweh always. It said, he saw in a vision evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of Yahweh coming in to him and saying to him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, what is it, Lord? And he said unto him, thy prayers and thy alms are come up from a memorial before Yahweh. So he said, your prayers and your alms came up for a memorial of Yahweh. The Most High remember your prayers and your alms that you give. So the Most High, he's accept your alms. All right. So he love when you helping your brothers out. All right. Let's go 2 Corinthians chapter 9. Chapter 9 and verse 6. It said, "But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly." Slacketh. But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which sown bountifully shall reap also bountifully. And every man according to his own purpose and his own heart. So let him give, and not grudgingly or the necessity, for Yahweh love a cheerful giver. So the Most High love a cheerful giver. And Yahweh is able to make all grace abound towards you, that he always having all significantly, so like it, and sufficiently in all things was around, abound to every good works. As it is written, he hath despised abroad, he hath given to the poor, his righteousness remain forever. All right, it's like it, Israel. But yeah, so the Most High, he, you basically, you get back, So you basically, the Most High, he sees your rewards and the things that you do, and he return it to you. All right, let's go to Galatians chapter 1 verse 10. Galatians chapter 1 and verse 10. I said, for do I now persuade men or Yahweh, or do I seek to please men? For it I yet please men, I shall not be a servant of Hamashiach, Yahushua. All right, so it said, when you do these things, when you out there putting in the work, you're not doing it to please men or be seen by men, but you doing it for the works of the Most High, to please the Most High, right? So you're not doing this just to be seen, right? You're not doing it to get the glory of men, so men might speak good of you. You're doing it to please the Most High, right? And these works is for our salvation. All right, one more precept. This is 2 Esdras chapter 9 and verse 7. And it reads, "And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith wherein he have believed." So this is the works that we must do to order to receive salvation. All right. So I pray that was understanding and edifying to the body. And I want to give glory to Yahweh by Shem HaMashiach Yahushua. Continue to go out there and do the works, and do everything to the Most High, the Yahweh Shai. All right? Shalom, Israel.